Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of the Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a couple of friends and colleagues. It helps the channel a lot, and I appreciate it, trying to reach 1,000 subscriptions here. We got more news regarding those pre-sales for Fantastic Four, so like Superman, as they put out those projections for what that first weekend should look like domestically, we got those Fantastic Four figures, and it is pretty good. The Fantastic Four First Steps early box office forecast predicts an $125 million to $136 million debut. That is domestic, ladies and gents. We're over 6 weeks away from the release of Fantastic Four First Steps, so while box office tracking is still a ways off, BoxOfficeTheory.com has shared their early forecast for the MCU reboot's opening weekend. Based on factors such as ticket pre-sales, trailer views, reactions, Marvel's previous late summer openers, and the competition the movie will face when it hits theaters, the site is predicting a domestic debut of between $125 million and $136 million. I'm going to go out and say if the domestic is that haul, that the worldwide could be about $250 million, so not bad. Could get the whole budget back in one weekend. At the risk of understating a release 2 weeks after Superman, which comes out on July 11th, will be incredibly interesting to follow, they write. In an era when many audiences have become more selective about which comic book films get them into cinemas, the year's two biggest properties from that realm will aim to coexist in the lucrative late summer corridor. Either way, die-hard fans will show up for both. This would be a great start for the film and a much stronger opening than Marvel Studios' Thunderbolt's $76 million opening and Captain America Brave New World's $100 million opening, while not troubling the mighty Deadpool and Wolverine with $211 million domestically, and we know that that film went on to gross over $1.2 billion at the box office. So if this is any indicator, not as much money as Deadpool and Wolverine, but still a solid output with $130 if it can hit that first weekend. Again, it's very early for an accurate estimate, but the site has a pretty solid track record of getting fairly close with their predictions. Whether First Steps will prove to be the massive hit Marvel Studios really needs it to be obviously remains to be seen. Reactions from a recent test screening weren't the most positive, but all that really matters is how audiences respond when the movie arrives next month. And I already debunked the whole negative reviews thing. We talked about that a couple episodes ago on the Weekly, since I've been covering Fantastic Four quite a bit and will continue to do so until the film releases. So yeah, as far as tracking goes, that's some pretty good news there. I wonder what people are going to be saying on the other side of this argument. I wonder if Disney bought all those tickets. Anyway, I already got my tickets for Fantastic Four. I'll be watching it on opening weekend, and I'll be sure to get my Galactus bucket. I know it is limited stock, but I do have a plan to attack this because that's going to be the first thing that goes extremely quick. Marvel has been doing a good job with Fantastic Four so far. There have been some loose ends here and there, but I do think overall the campaign has been good, and I think there's going to be even a heavier push moving forward until we get to that release date at the end of July. I speculate that we'll get that final trailer probably towards the end of this month. I speculate the same thing for Superman as well. One thing that I do think is in Fantastic Four's favor, not that it does release first, I do think DC won with that angle, but I do think with the release of it 2 weeks after Superman and then really nothing to compete with it about a week or two after that, that Fantastic Four is in a good spot. So we will just have to see how everything pans out. I think this film needs to make at least $500 to $600 million to be looked at as a success for Marvel, and then be something that people look forward to look for what's happening with Spider-Man 4. They need to figure out how to make all this work. Hopefully they could have cleaned that up with the reshoots, maybe even shot new footage to really take people out of what they think is going to happen and take it to another direction and make it a twist, and a good twist at that. But with that being said, ladies and gents, please subscribe to the channel. Appreciate your subscriptions. I appreciate your viewership and you spreading the word. Also, share this video with a couple of friends and colleagues. That is much appreciated as well. And ring the bell for notifications to stay up to date on everything that I'm posting on this channel. Be safe. It's Neff signing off.